here. Okay, so those are all of the setup process, right? Just to recap, you're connecting your first party data, you're building your keyword rank tracker, you're building your local heat map, and you're saving the project from the Site Explorer, either one project or multiple projects. From there, you're then going to navigate over to the report builder. And the report builder is going to be here. It's under more, and it's called Report Builder. So we'll just open that up. All you're going to have to do is plug in the website that you're working on, right? Once you plug in the website here, this is going to pop up. You're going to land on a screen that looks like this. It's going to ask you to fill in your integrations. So things that you're looking for, one is that you've selected the right location. Two is that you've adjusted your date range. You can do custom date ranges or pick a pre-canned filter for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And then you're going to decide which integrations you want to include in this report. The first one on that list is an AI summary. That is essentially a executive AI that's providing you with a detailed summary in plain English of what is going on in this report, module by module, including an overview report of the whole report. The Site Explorer, you're setting that up for the project, you're adding that. And these two sections here, auto SEO and auto orders and tasks, these are optional. So the auto SEO is going to bring in your report card. The report card will be presented in the report, which is essentially just like your before and after, right? So it's this module saying what was your score before auto, what was your score after auto. The section for orders and tasks, that is going to be providing the user with a Notion board, the project management board, that is essentially a record of all of the actions that Auto has taken for that property. So how many Google business posts have been done, how much schema has been added, how many page titles have been done, etc. It's just a task level board describing all the actions that Auto's taken. And those two are optional. Everything else, use at your discretion. You have analytics, Search Console, Facebook ads, Google ads, your local heat map, your local rank tracker. Those are all things you can turn on or off. Step 2 is going to be your scheduled emails. You can have the tool send the reports directly to the client every week, every month, or every quarter and specify the date. Or you can set this up to email the reports to an internal team member to review the report before forwarding the report over to the client, right? So if this is your first time using the report builder, my recommendation would be to have the recipient be an internal team member who acts as a QA layer to say, is this report set up correctly? Is the data looking good? Do I want to forward this to my client? If in the future you've reviewed the reports and you're like, hey, these are great, then you can remove the internal approval layer and just put the client email address directly. If the accounts are white labeled, then currently the emails will come from a gray label email, which is at searchenginelabs.com. We own that domain, but there's no website spun up. It's just used specifically for white labeled reporting. If the account is not white labeled, then the emails will come from Search Atlas. Cool. And then the last step here is going to be to select which layout you want. You can test the default layout, or you can hit custom layout and build your own template for what the report should look like. And each section in that template is going to give you the ability to customize all of the modules. So you'll see here that everything's perforated, meaning you can drag it and drop it, you can delete sections. And as you hit each one of these integrations, a drop-down will show up where it'll show you what are the metrics or data points you can port into this report from each channel. So again, just as an example, this is what the report looks like. We have our AI summary for the Site Explorer. We have the AI overview explaining the whole report. And then we have a channel by channel breakdown of all of the different things that are going on in this report. The AI explanations are configured to be good news only. So it's not going to come in here and say, hey, your performance is tanking, you should fire your agency, et cetera. It's meant to review the data and highlight positive trends. And again, you can turn that AI summary on or off as needed. So this report is configurable and customizable. When you hit configure and you go to layout and you go to create your own layout, you hit confirm. Now everything becomes available to you. So for example, for Google Analytics, if I need to show key events, I just drag that, I drop it, and now the new key events show up. If I don't want them to see it, I remove it, right? If I need to add in a custom text or a link to another report or an image, a screenshot, an iframe, I would use custom text, add custom text or HTML, and either type it, add a link, add an image, add whatever you want, and use this as your bridge between other tools that aren't native integrations. Cool. And then once you build a template and you're happy with the format of the template, then you can hit save this template for future use and call it like standard client reporting template for local SEO or whatever you want to call it, right? And then that way it'll appear here. So each time you onboard a new client, you'll say use standard template 1 and follow the report parameters for that particular location. Cool. Okay. That's just covering this. So building the template and sharing it. Now, in terms of how do you share these reports, you actually have several options of how to share the reports. One is obviously the most straightforward, which is just using the scheduled emails, right? Say every week, every month, every quarter, send the email to this person on this day of the week, right? So that's the easiest way to share these reports. Option 2 is to download the report. When you download the report, it will actually create a non-branded PDF. So there's no logos of Search Atlas. There's actually no logos of your brand either. It's just a clean, non-branded report highlighting everything that you've configured in that tool. Option 3 is to share it as a public URL. So that link, the user does not need to be logged in. They do not need to have an account. If you're on a white label plan, the link is a white label link to your agency site. The user will be able to see the report exactly as it is. They won't be able to edit anything within the report, and they won't be able to see any other tools within the dashboard. So that's also a super clean way to share those reports. Or you can use the iframe code and take that URL or that iframe and put it on a custom reporting engine or whatever tool you guys may be using. Cool. The last way to do this is as a child account. So what you can do here is you can create child accounts in Search Atlas. So you'll hit the dropdown, you'll hit agency settings, you'll configure your white label account. And once the white label account is set up, you'll effectively start inviting customers to have their own Search Atlas account nested under your account. So that way the user can log in and out as they see fit in a branded dashboard experience and view their reports and their orders without being exposed to what the rest of the agency's up to, right? So that's also another way to share it. It requires a little bit extra work, but it's a cool way to, lower the dependency on emails back and forth.